Hello and welcome back to After the Table, a TTRPG podcast. 'Tis I, your favorite dice hoarding, shit rolling GM, Shelly Von Miller here. Yeah, that's right. Look, YouTube said, hey, if you monetize your stuff, you can now cuss within the first 5 seconds. And I said, gang gang. So we are halfway through the second season, and I will say this right now, thank you so much to everybody who's been on so far, and also everybody who's been listening. It's, have you been liking it? Question mark. Leave a comment down below. I need validation from the internet, obviously. Speaking of dice and amazing people... We haven't even started this. And speaking of dice and amazing people, we are joined by an award-winning dice maker, a person who loves to jump full ass into GMing on an AP, which is amazing. You can see their shows, The Veil of Anthium and The Wild Magic West, over on Twitch and YouTube, question mark. And someone I love to see just in person because they bring magnificent energy to any con they go to. Welcome to the table, Whitney, aka Smoking Glue Guns. Hi, darling.
Hello. Also, I'm gonna be pedantic as fuck and correct you on how my show is pronounced. It's the Veil of Athium.
Athium. Okay.
Athium.
Thank you.
No,
I don't mind.
It regularly gets said wrong. The cast said it wrong for like a hot second until I was like, here is audio of me physically saying the name of this world that I've created in my head, so you can stop saying it wrong.
You know what? I like being corrected. I don't mind. That's not pedantic. That's just you telling people the correct pronunciation. That's not... This isn't an actually episode. Sorry, I'm not.
I'm actually at the Veil of Athium. Okay.
Thank you. Veil of Athium.
Pat.
You get that right, internet? Listen. But introduce yourself to the
Sure.
lovely listeners and watchers of the internet.
Like the lovely Shelly said, my name is Whitney, better known as Smoking Glue Guns. I am an award-winning dice maker and an award-nominated game master. That's still weird to say. I travel across the country selling my rocks. I also sell them online at SmokingGlueGuns.com. You can find me literally at Smoking Glue Guns almost everywhere except for Facebook because it's stupid. Or on twitch.tv/Smoking Glue Guns, where you can watch The Veil of Athium bi-weekly on Fridays, or on twitch.tv/Winterstales, where Wild Magic West airs, which is the new baby. I literally was scheduling it earlier today to do recording sessions this week because, like you said, I have no chill. I don't know how to not jump into everything with my full dicey. That's how I operate.
Full dicey, exactly.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, I was looking at your con schedule. When do you restock? Because what the hell?
Yes, the answer is yes. This year was actually more chill than last year. 2024, I think I did 25 shows. 25 shows. 2023, I did 27. So this year is like a light year.
As of the time of recording this, we're recording this in August, by the way. What number are you gonna be on?
Let's count.
Hold on. This is coming out
2,
October 13th. How many are you gonna be at?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay.
14. So as of recording, we're at 14.
By the end of the year.
By the end of the year, there's going to be, that's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The end of the year will be 20.
Oh, you cut down a lot.
I cut 5 whole cons out.
Yeah. That's That's amazing. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
It depends. I mean, it's less. Everyone keeps telling me to take a break. Well, there you go,
There you
internet.
go.
Stop yelling at me. I canonically have taken a break. I cut 5 cons from my schedule. Did I add bigger conventions in place of the ones I cut? Shut up. Shut up.
Gen Con being one of them.
For context for the listeners, we are what, like a week removed from Gen Con?
Yeah, a week.
And I think for the first time after a con, I like took a week off. In the last week, now granted, I was still doing things. I was like reordering supplies and stuff, but like I cast dice for the first time today since I was on the road for like 2 weeks. So it's been 3 weeks since I played with resin. Um, and I like felt rusty. It was very weird.
You're like, this isn't normal. I'm not supposed to feel this way.
It's like, this is supposed to be muscle memory. What, did this always take this long? Oh, I hate that.
Wow.
It's awful.
That. Oh, speaking of the dice. Okay, so how,
Yeah.
I guess this is like an important part of tabletop RPGs, is how did you get into TTRPGs in dice? I guess dice making came after?
Dice making came after. It was this weird. Okay, we're gonna go into Whitney lore. I played loosely when I was a kid, but like never took it really seriously or really understood it properly. I'd like heard of Dungeons and Dragons and I thought that was for nerds. And me, as the stage crew for the theater troupe, couldn't possibly do the nerdy activity. That's silly. And then fast forward to like becoming a professional in the theater space. I actually have a degree, a bachelor's of science in show production, and I was working in the before times as a lighting engineer or a lighting technician. So I was doing that. I was working off Broadway as a master electrician, like doing lots of like theater stuff. That was what my job was. And then there was this tiny little thing that happened that you might have heard of, where it was like a panorama, a panonimi, and the theater industry got fucked. And I was at home and I was sad and I was very depressed. I have no shame in sharing that because like human emotions are real. And I had a bunch of friends who were already watching this tiny show on the internet called Critical Role that I'd never heard of.
Small, tiny,
Small,
minuscule.
minuscule.
Indie studio.
And there was something called Mayati 9 or something. I don't know if I can know. And I kept getting sent clips and being told that I would really like it because I liked storytelling. And I said, in my very much passive aggressive bratty energy brain, I don't like being told what to do. I'm not doing that. So I didn't watch it. And then on my TikTok talk feed, almost as if the universe decided to figure out exactly how to get me, they started showing me specifically clips of Jester Lavore. Um, and that chaos gremlin of a character uh convinced me to start watching the show. I realized very quickly that I don't know how to like things in a normal way. And the first time they got to a reference where it was a character I didn't know, but it was very clear that there was a character they knew, I then paused, went back, watched all of Vox Machina, then watched all of the Mighty Nine. Now, while this was happening simultaneously, I then got a crippling dice addiction, where I was like, ooh, the shiny rocks are very pretty that they play with. And I don't play, but I can, that's like crystals for nerds. So I started like shopping on Etsy. I bought a set of dice, and then I realized that the dice got expensive very quickly. So I was like, well, I'm sure I could just make the dice. I was already playing with resin at the time because I was making face masks, because theater background, so you learn a little bit of everything. So I knew how to sew. So I was making face masks. I was making fluid pour paintings and then resin top coating them. So I had resin. And again, as you've said, I don't know how to do things in a non-chill way. So I immediately ordered masters, made silicone molds of the masters, and just started experimenting with dice, which is not the way I would recommend a person go about doing it. I just dove in 2 feet first, and fell in love with it as an art medium. I still have like pictures, which I will try and dig them up and send them to you later so you can see them, of like what my first dice sets looked like. Uh, and yes, there was just a Lavore one, because of course there was. And it was very weird that like it was just something I just kept trying and doing. And by the time we got to the finale of the Mighty Nine, I remember watching it in a hotel room at Charlotte Comic Con, I think it was, upstairs in the hotel of like a Hilton. And I was gonna sell dice downstairs at my table for the first time properly. So it was like this full circle like moment. And then somewhere along there, I posted a video on the internet of putting a bunch of babies in dice, and the rest, as they say, is history. And now this is my full-time job, which is bananas. It's been a very, very weird. Fuck, it's 2025. 5 years. It's been a very weird 5 years.
5 years. 5 years.
If I could go back to like March of 2020, or May, honestly, more specifically, May of 2020, to tell the human being who just found out that all of their theater contracts for the years got canceled and had just broken up with their girlfriend, that like, hey, in 5 years, you're going to have just been, like, you're gonna sell the biggest tabletop gaming convention in North America, and not only do that, you're gonna do incredibly well, and you're gonna be surrounded by people who care about you and love you. If Iwadiway is gonna like host your birthday party kind of at a karaoke bar.
Aww.
And like it's weird. Life is weird. Life is very weird. I don't know how this happened.
That one is amazing because one, I too am joining the tabletop community in 2020 type of person.
I think a lot of us were, because we were all at home.
Yeah.
Like, what else were you supposed to do?
It's one of those things I was just like, oh yeah, oh. I did not do dice making, though I was tempted at one point. I just looked at the price of the masters and I said, no thank you. I don't have that. No thank you.
I just had to order new masters because I wanted to do custom masters for Wild Magic West specifically. So getting the new masters for that was like $320. And then you add in like getting them sand, because I don't polish my masters anymore because fuck that noise, I hate it. So I pay a human to do that now. But then they have to be like polished and then molded, and it's a whole whole endeavor.
Thing.
And I love doing it. And I have been told I'm good. People gave me an award for it. So.
It's true.
Are you gonna pick up rocks of mine on your desk? Do you have them right there?
No, I've been, and we've talked about this several times, because I'm like, I need to message you to get a custom set. But whenever Matt posted on Threads, like, oh, look, Whitney has vampire dice at Gen Con, I said, take my money, bitch.
I brought 6 sets of vampire dice to Gen Con, because I was like, 6 will be fine. 6 will be plenty. I had 1 left at the end of the weekend. And it was the set that it's not on the website anymore, but it's called Blood on the Ice, that like blue and white one, which is very beautiful. But it was just wild to me. I think the first set I sold was a set of vampire dice. And then as soon as people realized that like someone had them, because nobody apparently had them at the con.
The only people that had them were Renegade, and it's like the official license stuff.
Boring.
Yeah.
It's also like, I'm very weird with the vampire dice. Like, I love the ones that you picked. They're like my least favorite design that I do. Because no, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. I love me a good blood drip moment. But it feels very on the nose for vampire dice.
Very.
And like, you saw the other ones that I had. I try to like, I'll do the blood drips and shit, but I also like having like the other options too. It's like, not all vampires are like, well, I guess all vampires do the blood thing, but like,
yeah. My vampire is very bloodthirsty. She is like wage war, eat human. She is vampire. So that's why I was just like, oh, I need these.
Is that called bloodlust? Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, she is bloodlusty. She is unlike anyone else. I'd say that she is totally like other Ventrue of her kind.
No, she's not like other girls, Shelly.
She's not like other girls. she's a whatever, I don't know. But no, okay, so you've mentioned the baby dice,
Yes.
which I went back and looked at those and I was like, those are cursed. There's
You know,
beans.
in
Uh
hindsight, those
yeah.
baby dice are like the least cursed of the baby dice. They've gotten worse with time.
I saw the chonker that is the huge head baby dice that
With
looks
the
like it looks like the baby head from Toy Story that's on like the little
yeah,
spider.
yeah, the Borg, the dice Borg.
Cursed.
Yeah, that's Douglas.
Cursed.
He's a
Uh
little guy. He's a little guy.
just a little
Thing.
guy. Just a little guy. But you also have beans. You
Yeah.
have new to the group, you have a mimic.
Yes. Kevin.
And then yes, Kevin. You can adopt a Kevin today. Not today.
Adopt a Kevin. Hypothetically, there'll be a Kevin on the website in October, or adopt a Kevin at an in-person show. Do that.
Yeah, in person. And then the one that you're probably known for the most, your dick dice.
The Dick 20, the illustrious
The
kaleidocock, if you will.
yes. There's a mini size. I
Ooh, hold on.
story.
I'm gonna be so silly. Right now.
Oh,
Hold on.
yes. I can't wait. Oh my god.
We're here, and I can get them.
Kurt, is this the huge set of just dicks? Yeah. Whitney also does a huge set of a full set of dice, and I looked at them and I was like, "Oh, I could totally buy this." And she told me the price, and I was like, "Maybe not."
These ones
But
aren't done yet, but I love them. They're
I
wonderful.
can't. I can't wait.
I've never held this much dick in my hands.
I have a comment for that, but that's old Shelly. Shelly in her 20s. That's probably that's Shelly in her 20s right there. That's Shelly who was very very closeted and was just like, I'm straight.
Are you allowed to play tabletop if you're straight? Professionally? Are you allowed?
Allegedly, I
You
mean,
gotta be a little. I think you gotta be a little spicy.
a little spicy. Whether
little
it's like
spicy.
neuro spicy or
Yeah.
like queer or I
You
don't
gotta
know.
be a little divergent.
Wait, is that what that movie's about? I could have sworn that was about like putting teens into a war. I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
like
is
all
that the right
YA,
one?
It's about putting teens in a war.
I was like, is that the one? Is Divergence the one where
I think
I
that's
remember
the one.
there's like a train and
Yeah,
not
yeah,
that
there's a trend. It's the one where we very loosely sort our society into brave,
Oh, that's
which
right.
is just stupid, smart, honest, and selfless. And then
That's
like
right.
the smart people think that the selfless people are actually selfish, so I'm loosely recalling this. They what is it? They like inject the brave people who were stupid with a serum to mind control them to kill all the selfless people.
Oh,
But
so
if you're
okay.
divergent, you can resist the serum.
Yeah. Sure. If you're divergent.
YA is wild.
YA is wild. There's like 4 movies of that series or something like that. 3, 4, I don't know.
There's like Divergent. I think one of them's called Insurgent. I know
Sure.
one of them's called Allegiant.
Sure.
God, yeah, that's why is this what my brain is hyperfixating on right now?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, YA, for cursing all of us with weird movies in the 2010s. Uh, but, okay, so Critical
Bringing
Role.
it back.
Dice making. Yeah, bringing it
Bring
back.
it back.
Critical
So we're
Role.
actually
Dice
talking about
making.
Tabletop, yeah.
Yeah. Dice making. And just. Duh. Is that how you got into AP? Is.
Kind of. I've always liked telling stories. Started with dice. I had a couple of friends who asked me to play, and I said yeah. And then I made it very clear to other friends that I wanted to keep playing. And I kept getting asked to be a player. And then the game mastering came last year because I'd reached a point where I was becoming a little more loud about the lack of diversity in the space, and how that was a little frustrating to me, and basically just kept yelling at people to put more brown people in their stuff. And then I realized that if I was going to yell about it, I should probably do something about it. So I was like, well, I could run a game. I could maybe do. I know ish the rules. Which is how the Veil of Atheum started. Was I really just wanted to make a show that looked incredibly diverse and was just my love letter to Game of Thrones, the good shit, and like dark and spooky, scary stories, and then just see how many times I could say ichor in a sentence. Because that show's just all about the ichor. It's all drippy ichor. I love it. I love it a lot. It's. I wanted to tell stories, and I realized in doing so that like yes, being in the car is a lot of fun, but it is so much more fun when I get to like design the road. Like when I get to build the path with which the players inevitably steer into a guardrail. It's a lot of fun to like do that. And I like doing it. And apparently people like it as well. So
That is a beautiful analogy of you want, instead of being in the car, you wanted to make the road that the car was on. That, oh, and I mean, your first time going into the GMC is also your first time GMing in an AP.
yeah, and I built a homebrew world like a crazy person.
How did that feel? How did that how did all that, as somebody,
Um,
as a person who also their first GMing experience was in an AP, that they decided to create, not create their own world, but like was just like, hey friends, let's do
having
this.
having watched a lot of Critical Role and seeing how people respond to things, I realized very quickly that the solution was not ignore the chat, but effectively like trust that my moderators have chat in hand. And for a very long time, I did not engage with chat while I was running the game. I was focused on the most important players. Not that no one isn't more important, because I think that's how I look at APs in general, is that, like, for me, the most important focus is not the world or the story that I am trying to tell. It's those four other people at my table. They are priority one. Priority two is then like the integrity of my world and my comfortability. And then priority three is the audience. They are a part of that conversation, but they are not my first priority. My first priority is always my players because they're the ones being kind enough to let me abuse them effectively for 3.5 to 4 hours a clip. So they've got to be the first thing I'm thinking about. So for a really long time, didn't engage with chat. It's only in like the last like couple of months or so that I've started to like during episodes when people are like going on like having their like RP moments. I'm still like listening, but like I'll occasionally like gander over and be like, no, this is good shit, isn't it? It's good shit, and just engage. But a lot of it was just realizing that like people are gonna disagree with my calls, and that's fine. Um, the people whose opinion I give a fuck about are at the table with me, and if they have an issue about it, we'll talk about it like adults because we're adults, and that's what like debriefs and private chats and session zeros and re-zeros are all for. Like that's having those safety tools in place helps not just me but also them, and then my relationship with it. And also it was easier because like I built the world. So like you're gonna tell me how my world works, you don't know what it's in my head. Fuck off.
That's very true. And also, I like the fact that you brought up the fact that you use all these different versions of safety tools in order
Yeah.
to make sure that you all feel comfortable at the table. What, I guess you've had experience in AP tables and things like that, so you've probably learned along the way what tools work best for you. What, for those who are wanting, who haven't for some reason, I'm looking at you. I'm not you, Whitney, but I'm looking at you, chat. Chat, I'm looking at
Chat.
you. Chat, what the fuck? Who are either like starting their own campaigns, like brand new GMs, or they're wanting to add things to their repertoire, what kind of safety tools do you suggest? Like what has worked for you?
Uh, so one ahead of time, it's an ever evolving, shifting thing. Lines and veils are a paramount for me. Knowing where people's lines and veils are, and then for me personally, before every session, I will do my best to take a gander at those to refamiliarize myself with them, because I also run different tables with different groups of people and it's easy to like forget. Um, the X card also works really well if someone's feeling uncomfortable or not wanting to vibe, and you just throw me an X. I also make sure when I'm running a game that I will either have Discord up on my phone or on my computer, depending on what I'm running. And if they want to privately send me an X card but not make it a public thing, they can send it to me privately. The one that I am playing with, or gonna start playing with, because it's a little faster, is, oh god, it's like the deck of player safety, I think it is, where it's like, I saw Diana of the Rose talking about it, and it's the set of cards that like you send out a link to, and then like anonymously you can be like, I am good with XYZ, everything goes, or you can be like, I don't want bugs. Bugs is a veil for me. Please no bugs. The other thing I think that is important is it's not even so much just the lines and the veils, it's also like following up and clarifying too. Because like I had a player once say that like they really don't, the gaslighting was a veil for them. But I had another player at that same table be like, hey, I really want to explore this dynamic with this character that I've built. So I had to go to the first player and be like, hey, so when you say gaslighting is a veil for you, does that mean to you specifically? Is it okay if it's at the table? Can I get clarification? I don't need to know why it's an issue for you. That's between you and your emotions and your feelings. But like understanding exactly what the veil is, because sometimes just saying like like saying gaslighting is a veil, it doesn't really give me clarification as a game master on how I can best help protect you.
I like that. I like the clarifying part because, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's one of those things. It's like, oh, if it's happening like in the world,
Yeah.
I've seen the lines of veils where it's like, do you want it? Is it okay if it's with you, or is it okay if it's in the world? And I
Yeah.
like that clarification part because, like, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't want this towards me. In the
Yeah.
world, I'm fine with it. It's one of those like,
Oh yeah.
what's the meme? It's I can excuse the white woman that's like, I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at like,
It's there's a
what
level
the hell?
funniness is the wrong word, but there's something very silly when you're filling out a lines and veils sheet, and I've done it myself where I just catch myself giggling, where I'm like, fantasy racism, bad. Police brutality, bad.
Bad.
Harm to children, veil.
It's like natural disasters. I'm okay with tornadoes. Let's go.
Let's go.
I can sleep through a hurricane.
No. Police
Bugs, no.
brutality? No.
Hell no. Yeah, it's one of those
I
things.
think
I'm like,
there's some things that like I don't necessarily, and there's some that are always like a veil for, or not a veil. There's some things that are always a line for me, where like I don't need to explore police brutality in my games. I don't need to explore racism in my games. I don't need to explore genocide in my games. I'm good not doing that. Another one that's been on the list lately has been cancer, because I have like such a complicated relationship with that disease. Just him. All of the time. Explain friends who like encounter my dad, as you have now done, and then encounter my mom, and they're like, oh, I understand now why Whitney is the way Whitney is.
as soon as I was just like, oh, this is why Whitney is okay.
This is why Whitney is.
This is yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, we're like, oh.
So safety
many other
tools.
questions. So safety tools.
So safety tools.
Safety tools. They're important, and if you're not
They
using
are.
them, you should.
You should. You really should. Oh my goodness. There's just gonna be like a cut in the middle of this, and people are gonna be like, "What's going on?" check out the Patreon and Fourth Wall membership sites. Starting at $7 a month. Yeah,
That's
there we
promo
go.
clip for socials to promo my episode is just my dad crashing your podcast.
Love it. Love it. So, oh my gosh.
You can do this.
I can do this. I can do this.
We're professionals.
We are. How does it feel to have your first AP as a GM also nominated for, you're like nominated as a GM in that space?
Wild. Ridiculous. Tomfoolery. Nonsense. I guess in hindsight it makes a lot of sense because like while it was my first time behind the GM seat, I've played a lot of these games in the last few years and I watch a lot of games. So like not to be pretentious about it, but I know how a story is I know how to tell a story. That's not like foreign to me. The mechanics are the part that I'm like still learning and processing. But like guiding a story is not, again, it sounds so pretentious. Guiding a story is not terribly difficult if you it's something you've like wanted to do. And I like have fully written books on my computer that will never see the light of day because I'm too much of a little chicken shit to publish them. But like I've wrote books. So it's just that it was more, I think if this had come before the Dice Maker one, I would be more overwhelmed by it. Or if this had come, because this popped out, like I got the nomination while I was filming Wild Magic West, and that show in particular, there's like I don't know if you have ever experienced it, but like you finish a recording session, you're like, no, what I have just recorded is objectively very good, and I've had those feelings a lot more lately, where like it's more validation than affirmation, if that makes sense. Like I'm like, no, I am actually good at this. I know what I'm doing. And reaching that level of my career has been really cool, of being like, no, why am I pretending like I'm not good at what I do? I'm good at what I do. Why am I still deluding myself into thinking that I'm bad at it? Like, that's silly. Stop that.
Societal norms. That's
Yeah. I have reached a point where I am refusing to, and like it kind of reached a head at Gen Con, where the warring brains of like logic and art brain like yell at each other a lot, where it's like, you're not good at this, you're a con artist, blah 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 blah. And then like being faced with irrefutable proof of like, no, this is how much you did in sales in 4 days. People want your work, they like your work. Does that mean they like you? That's a different conversation entirely. But they like the things you do. They like the work that you create. The number of people who came up were like, oh my god, I've loved Wild Magic West, or I've loved The Veil of Aethium. That is irrefutable proof to the art brain of like, hey, you are incorrect in the silly, awful things you try and tell me. So I've been making a more concerted effort with that, kind of like it's bringing it back to YA, like kind of a la Katniss Everdeen and Mockingjay, if you remember that movie, where like to reground herself, she tells herself things that are actually that she knows to be true, and that's how she finds ground again. And it's something I've taken a point of doing, of being like this, and it helps a lot with that imposter syndrome, because I don't think it'll ever fully go away, but I have a more firm handle on it now than I did when I got the dice making nomination. So if GM had come first, I would have lost my shit. I don't think I'd be remotely stable about it.
that. I feel like that's a common theme, though. It's one of those things, like a way to. I don't know how to explain it, but a way for people to not get in their head about things like this, like things about like nominations, or like just being told you're good at something. You're like, oh, please. I'm very much of the people are like, oh, and Shelly. I'm like, no, thank you. Please Please don't perceive me as somebody who like is on stage and I'm like, oh, no, thank you. Please
I think
don't.
it's healthy to have
Mm.
a degree of criticism or a thought that you can do better. I think that's healthy and important.
Yeah.
And also to be open to critique and criticism too. Like I think there was a post at time of recording. There was a post on Threads, I think,
Mm.
where someone was talking about how like you should be constantly looking to improve yourself as a performer, and that like improv classes are really helpful and acting
Oh,
classes in
I know
general.
that. I saw that
Yeah,
one, and
yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and it's like the number. I think there's like these two camps of people where there's, and I found it quite funny that like a lot of the people who are disagreeing with that take have been people who I have found aren't that, but also haven't been open to critique or criticism in the past. I was talking about this on stream last night where I think people assume that critique or criticism is bad or is inherently bad or that I don't like this thing you made. And that's not the case. I break down actual plays that I've been in, like game day football footage, after I've done them because I want to see how I can improve and do better. Or I will like send friends who I know watch the show, be like, hey, you watched it. How can I make this better? I think you can only grow and become better from critique and criticism. Like, I want you to tell me the thing I did wrong so I can improve it for next time. Uh, and not wanting to grow and learn is how you become stagnant and stop telling good stories.
That makes sense. It's not, as somebody who went back to school later in life and like started a new path, a new career path later in life. It's one of those things like you kind of have to. Like you kind of have
Yeah.
to learn, and it's okay to ask people, suggestions. And this is sort of why the podcast is here. It's like I want to learn from other people in the AP space of like how to be better at producing stuff, how to be, a better performer, how to, just connect with people more
Yeah.
like in this space because it's
I
you should never stop learning. And
No. Yeah.
I think this is a problem just in general, and I think overall, not in the AP space, but like overall in the world, a lot of people are not wanting to think anymore. And to
Yeah.
you, I say, I don't know what to tell you, fam. Maybe use your brain.
It's it's something that gets talked about at conventions a lot, which I think we should talk about it more outside of that space. Where like there's the level of in this industry specifically of uh wanting to climb ladders versus make genuine connections. And I think personally, the best stories come from making genuine connections and then growing from that point. So like a lot of times I will make friends with some of the people who like people consider to be cool and stuff and things. And I don't ask them to be on my stuff or I don't ask them to show off my things. I want to be their friend. I just try to be a genuinely good vibe guy. Um and then down the line, if I like think of a project where I'm like, oh, I've spent a lot of time talking to you, I know your vibe, this is what's in my head, what do you think about that? I always put the ball in like their court, as opposed to being like, oh, you're blah blah blah, let's be because I've been on the receiving end of that even at my small scale where people like only want to talk to me because of the numbers of it all, and I'm like, that's gross and icky. It makes me feel gross and icky, and I don't want to make other people feel gross and icky. I don't like that. I don't like that. Stop it. Just be. I think
Just be
the
cool, man.
yeah,
just
it
just be
comes back
cool.
to, I don't know if you were there at PAX East when a bunch of us were talking about the cool kids table, and I think there's less of a
I might have been
cool.
there. I might have
Yeah.
also zoned out at one point.
Uh, it
I might have been
comes
like,
back to this concept of people thinking there's a cool kids table in the TTRPG space, and I
mm-hmm.
inherently push back on that idea that I don't think there's a cool kids table. I think there's a people who act normal table, because there's a level of like uh follower count that people get to, and then people start to put them on pedestals and they forget that they're just like a guy. Like I had a fellow content creator friend point out to me, there's a person in the space who I deeply respect. And I, for a very long time, was like, if I ever meet them, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. Not because of their work in the space, but because of like my personal affection to work that they had done earlier in their career. I'm being super vague, because I don't want to like to give it away. And they pointed out, they pointed out, hey, to someone else, you are that person. And I had to like think and pause and like process and internalize that shit and realize that like, well, if I'm just a guy, they're just a guy, you're just a guy. And that shifted how I think about it, is that like we're just fucking people trying to tell cool stories, ideally getting paid for that, but like we are just people telling cool stories. It's fine. We're fine. You don't need to, just be chill. Just be normal.
Honestly, every time somebody says yes to this like podcast, I'm just like, what? And it's like you and like some other people that we've had on the podcast, and I'm like, you just want to talk to me? Little me? Thank you.
Yeah, Shelly, you're kind of cool and you're chill.
I'm also most of the time the oldest person in the room at the table, and I'm just like,
than you? I think I'm older than you.
to be. I don't remember if we established this or not at PAX East.
I am above mid-30s.
I am too.
Ooh, have you hit the 4 yet?
No, not yet.
How close are you to the 4?
2 years.
Ooh, you got me.
Yeah, 2 years.
I have 4 years to the big 4.
I remember those days. I think that was 2021.
I feel you on that, because I am often also one of the older people in the room, and it's trippy as hell when people are like, "You're how old?" I'm like, okay, one, you don't have to say it like I'm decrepit.
How dare you?
You can stop that. But also, there's a level of like high school ass behavior that I just ain't got the time or energy for anymore. Where I'm like, if y'all want to be a bunch of petty little children, you go ahead and be a bunch of petty little children. I ain't engaging with that bullshit.
Unless it's something serious, which has happened a lot in this space. That
I have stuff to do.
I have a life. Unless it's something serious, like somebody coming to harm in any type of way, then that is different. And then I would be like, what are you doing? No. Bad person. I will step. But yeah, no, I think also for me as well, it's one of those things like I got out. I feel like every time I say that, I feel like people are like, you got out of prison? I'm like, basically. I got out of the military. I went into retail, which is usually like a young person's thing. I was 27. I went back to school at 27. And like I've started drag in my 30s, and like you're around a bunch of like 19-year-old twinks. Let's be fucking real. I've always been the oldest person in the room, and it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, I'm used to you kids. It's weird that I'm here. It makes me feel weird that I'm here.
One of my favorite things to do when I'm hanging out.
Come, children, I will give you sage advice.
Someone will say some nonsense, and I have to be like, hey, respectfully, I need the toddler to stop talking.
Respectfully, I did that whenever I was 19 years old. Calm down.
You gotta pause. You're being a toddler again. You gotta stop it. Pat, here, have a candy bar.
Here's your iPad.
Here's your iPad. Go in your corner. I'll talk to you when you're older.
And this is not us saying, hey, young kids, you fucking suck. This is us saying, sometimes you adults who are younger than us,
you have to pick your I say this to the kids I live with, where I'm like, there are some battles that are worth fighting, and there are some that are not, and it's okay to pick your fucking battles. You don't need to die on every hill. You don't. Your life will be infinitely better when you decide to not do that.
Yes. Yeah. You won't age like fucking milk. Because if you look at other millennials that like to pick fucking fights and be assholes on the internet, they look like they age like milk. I'm just saying.
I can't say anything. I'm brown and black don't crack.
You know, I'm saying this to all the white people in the audience. Don't be a fucking asshole and you won't look like you're 56 at the age of 35.
Oh my God.
Also, wear sunscreen.
We've done such a good job about talking about tabletop, Shelly.
Exactly. Well, we're talking about tabletop. Don't be an asshole in the tabletop space. We're just silly little guys playing make-em-ups. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that fucking serious.
Not that serious.
Also, we're not recognized under SAG, so nobody, like, don't be a fucking asshole.
We don't have HR, so you have to be your own HR, which is not
Exactly.
a good plan.
Yeah. That's when we have to do the community roundabout of like, hey guys, every 6 months we gotta circle up.
Wagons.
We gotta circle up and be like, hey
Welcome
guys.
to the monthly meeting. I hate to inform you, another person has been problematic.
Hey, con season's around. A lot of people are about to drop dead out of the community. Drop dead in the sense of they're dead to us. If you don't want to be one of those people, don't do bad shit.
Just don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. How do I get to tell stories professionally? Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole. It's the same thing I tell people who are like, how did you get so many connections in drag? Or like back whenever I used to do club scenes. I don't work in the club anymore. I want to. It's just one of those things. One, don't be an asshole. 2, show up on time. And 3, make sure you get fucking paid if it's a paid gig. Don't trust a bitch with your money.
Mood.
That's my
power of dicks, Shelly. Because the dice are still on the desk, so
it happens, and they're big dice, so it's a big tower of dick dice.
A big tower of it's really. It's a little distracting. I should probably take the tower down. But now I just want to see how long it stays up.
Well, it's pretty solid, so
firm, if you will.
Firm,
yeah. It's an aroused tower.
You could say it's erected. You erected a dick tower. How does that feel?
Look, I don't have therapy until next week. You gotta stop.
I'm sorry. I don't have therapy until, I don't know, sometime maybe this month. Oh yeah, before I go to PAX West. So, yeah. There you go. Thank you, VA, for taking your dear sweet baby Jesus time. So, okay, you are in the AP space.
Yeah.
You're GMing, and now, so your first show is not pre-recorded, correct?
No, it's live.
No, it's like, it's live. You're like, I'm flying by the seat of my pants, it's live.
Basically, yeah.
But Wild West Magic is pre-recorded, right?
Yeah, Wild Magic West is pre-recorded.
Wild Magic West. Why? Fucking.
You're so fine. You're so fine.
I have it written down, and my brain just went, words?
Words, different soup salad.
Yes.
That one's pre-recorded because I specifically wanted to tell a more anthology story. It is a love letter to some of my favorite sci-fi Western shows. So like Firefly, Westworld, Wild Wild West. That's sort of the vibe and energy. It's dark and gritty and sad with moments of levity sprinkled in. But more specifically, because it's an anthology, I wanted to have a rotating cast. Through the years of doing this, I have developed just a really healthy breadth of connections to people who I want to tell cool stories with. But a lot of them are busy as fuck and can't commit to a full long term campaign. But you know what most people can commit to? 3 episodes. So I bring people in for 3 episodes, usually 5 recording sessions. A session 0, a 0.5, and then they're 3 episodes. And then I can bring them back in if they have availability and time, and I can like loop everyone through. And it's this overarching world and plot. But like we're zooming in and telling little stories in different spaces around that plot. And it's been really fun to I don't know if you watched or engaged with Castleton at all last year by AJ Winters. I didn't want to do that because I'm friends with AJ. AJ produces Wild Magic West. That seemed like a nightmare and was too many people. So instead I was like, I want to do something kind of like that, but on a smaller scale where we really dive in and focus in on like 4 characters at a time and their story. And we like get a solid chunk of like 12-ish to 16-ish hours with this little pocket, and then we're going to shift our camera over and look at another little pocket. And I thought that would be a really fun way of doing it. So we're releasing it as of recording. Chapters 1 and 2 have been released, and then we start chapters 3 and 4 next week, or this week, because it's Monday, so this week. And we're doing them in like little 2-chapter chunks. But I have the first 8 chapters loosely mapped out. 3 starts airing Sunday. I've already pre-recorded 4 in its entirely. I am in pre-production on 5 and 8. And then I'm working on 6 and 7. So it's like and they also get recorded in wackadoo ass order. So like when I filmed the first 2, I filmed most of chapter 2 before I filmed chapter 1, and then like looped them back together again. So because we're filming them in a weird order, it's made it really cool to find ways to seed things, to reference other groups and loop things back through to each other. It's fun time. It's fun time. I'm enjoying it. It's like a giant Jenga puzzle where like I think I know what the picture is, but the picture keeps shifting.
That's just a TTRPG
Yeah,
campaign.
but like it's a different beast than live, because like live, like
anything can happen.
Anything can happen, but like Atheum is very much like, these are our 4 people. We are focusing on these 4 people, and like there is very clearly a bad evil guy, and eventually we're gonna get to that. Whereas here, there's a lot of other little stories happening, and it's cool to see like the little stories, but know in the background there are machinations that we're just not acknowledging right now, because right now we're at a wedding, or we're doing a prison break, or these 4 people got
robbing a bank.
Yeah, it's really cool when like the machinations come slamming back in, and you're like, oh, you bitch, this is all part of the to fuck you. So it's a lot of that.
I'm just waiting for it all to be a dream. Where it's all the dream, it's all a simulation. Love that.
No,
can't wait.
comment. No, it's the fun thing with it has been,
it's still a possibility.
a lot of times, and I can say this because this comes out in October. Chapter 3, I don't have a favorite, but 3 was probably the most fun to prep, because a lot of times what I will do is I will straight rip from like my favorite movies or TV shows,
as you should.
Great game masters do. And I was like, wouldn't it be really funny to do like a Godfather-esque like story in the Wild West? Because the idea of, instead of you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding, is just too funny not to do.
Yeah.
So their story, it's like chapter 2 just finished prison breaking, and then we cut away from chapter 2 and we cut into chapter 3, where these 4 bitches are the horniest players I have ever had at a table, and we're at a wedding that nobody wants to be at, and it's a mess. It's an absolute fucking mess that led to like one of them being like, hey, I need you to kill my dad. And like that's where we're filming the finale this week. It's just like it's mess. I love them so much, but it was fun that like my little pitch of like, Southern Godfather has turned into, hey, go kill the Godfather.
Hey, you know this gang leader that nobody likes and it happens to be my dad? I need you to go kill him so
That's
I can
effectively
take
what's
over the business.
yes, that's what's happening. Is she wants to be in control, and she's like,
Bam!
if you really love me, you would kill my dad, which is so fucked up. Like,
That is amazing.
yeah,
And
it's good times. You should
I
watch Wild Magic West. It's a good show.
yeah, hey.
It's a really good show, guys.
I can't wait for this episode to come out cuz I'm going to watch it and I'm going to be like, "Oh, mhm.
You can watch all of the episodes on YouTube right now.
Yep, YouTube.
Hypothetically, by the time we get to October, hypothetically,
Who knows?
It's
Shit
not-
happens.
There's Twitch VODs.
Yeah, there's Twitch. Twitch hopefully doesn't take it down. Who knows?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, but you went from a gritty fantasy to like a gritty western. What made you, like you said that there was influences, but like what made you do the jump? Like cuz that's a big
it's a big jump.
It's a big jump. That's a theme
Yeah.
theme shift if I've ever heard of one.
So what made the jump happen was I was hanging out in a Discord call, as all good ideas come. I was hanging out in a Discord call, and we were talking world building. And I just started building Orvin, which is what the world is called. Which, if you break it down to its bones, it's just Orvane. And I loved the idea of, like, what if there was like a magical element that like people could a la cocaine snort, but it like amplified their magic powers, which is where Roserite came from, and like effectively it was like sorcery points plus. Because I was like, what if everyone had access to sorcery points? Like, what if you're a barbarian and you like were able to amplify your powers by snorting effectively cocaine?
Steroids. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, well, if you have a resource like that in the world, what are the economic impacts of that? How does that change the way society? And I just started building out a world, is how it started. And then I was like, wait, this could actually be really fun if I like threw players into it. And then the second I started doing that, the players started breaking the world in ways I'd never imagined, in the coolest ways. Like, initially in the first grouping, someone was like, "Hey, what a Warforged look like in this world? Like, could I be powered by Roserite? And if I like ingest it, could it like maybe hurt me more because it's part of my central core and nervous system?" Or someone was like, "What if I grew up working in the mines? Could I effectively have like black lung, but it's like Roserite lung? So like I, rather than like wild magic rages, when I come down from the rage, I have like disadvantage on all my throws and stuff and things because I'm coming out of like this amplified, heightened state." Someone else just pitched like, can I be a sentient Roserite powered puppet? So it's been fun to be like, this little silly idea I had is always infinitely improved by having other people impact it. But it started from that. It wasn't even so much that I was looking to make a new AP. It was that I had an idea for a world and I was like, I'm just going to start noodling on it. And the more I noodled, the more I was like, no, this needs to be a thing. And there was also just like, in the market, there was such a there's not a lot of people doing westerns or things in that, like, so like a lot of people do dark epic fantasy, and I say that as a person who has a show which is just dark epic fantasy. But there's so much of that in the space, and I really loved the idea of having something that looked a little different and sounded a little different. Everyone gets to do their best attempt at a southern accent. Not all of them, but like it's fun to like differentiate. All of the bad guys sound British and all the good guys sound Southern. It's fucking funny. Brings me joy. Uh, it was just world building. I love building worlds, which is gonna get me in trouble one day because I have an idea for a world. I'm like, ooh, I have time to make another thing. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to sleep.
No. Understandably, as somebody who's trying to build a bunch of stuff at the same time, I'm like, I don't have enough time. But I want to be. Is there a plan to maybe like publish this or like release at least some of the?
Oh, like a setting book or something?
Yeah.
Right now,
No.
That's hard. No. Part of it's because by the time this comes out, the Castleton Kickstarter will be live.
Mm.
And I adore AJ. AJ has been a brilliant partner in this for me. We had like a really hard talk about like where I wanted to go in the space and what I wanted to do and how she could help with some of those dreams and possibilities. And also, post Castleton, she was really burnt out. She's talked about it publicly.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's a big project. So it's sort of like a mutually beneficial arrangement where like I can stream Wild Magic West on her channel, get more eyeballs to that project that I'm really, really proud of, and also she gets to take a break. So it sort of works out for like everyone involved, and she helps with like putting stuff on social so I don't have to think about it and like wrangling. It's very helpful. Like you were talking earlier about like learning and producing. The best lesson Wild Magic West has taught me has been it's okay to let go of pieces of my baby. I like telling stories and I love laying down the tracks. However, I don't need to order the asphalt or the paint to paint the lines in the road or the construction materials. I am allowed to have someone who edits the episodes for me and who edits the clips and someone who does the socials and handles the paperwork for cast releases, or filling out the forms and like having like legal documents to keep yourself safe because we don't have fucking HR. Like, it's okay to outsource the parts of it that either A, don't interest you, or B, you're not fucking good at. So the project overall I learned that with dice making too, where like I love making dice and I'm good at casting and sanding and polishing my dice. I'm not good at 3D printing masters, and I'm not good at making silicone molds, and I'm not good at polishing masters. So I outsource the parts of my process that ultimately make the end product better because I let people who are masters of their craft do them. And that would be my best piece of advice is that like it is okay, and honestly I think encourageable to like have a team. Like doing this alone is exhausting and is the fastest way to leading to burning yourself out. But if you can find people with whom you vibe and you gel and you click with, who complement the skill set that you have, this is the best way for you to like create this into some sort of longevity as a career. Like help is not a bad thing.
As somebody who's doing this by themselves,
Yeah.
yes, help is
Yeah.
not a bad thing. As somebody who's not getting help, because it's like
help is not a bad thing. You can ask for help.
I know.
You can ask for help. And you're not less of a creator if you have
It's true.
help.
It's
You're
true. Because you're leaning on other creatives to
Yeah.
create things.
Case in point, I had a conversation at Gen Con where I was yelling at Jasper William Cartwright because he needed to come and pick up dice for me.
God.
Gem of a human. Lovely human being.
Lovely.
And I was like, hey, why have you not responded? And he's like, I'm going to be so for real with you. Someone else runs my socials. And I was like, you know what? Fucking
Real.
Real. I wish someone else ran my socials. Doing it all myself is exhausting. So, like, it's okay to have a team. The people you love and you respect who do this full time have fucking teams. And it may not be a big team. It may be a little team. It may just be, like, 1 or 2 other people. But, like, you can have help. It's okay. You're gonna be fine. You'll be fine, boo-boo.
Yeah, that's another reason why people are like, why doesn't the podcast have its own socials? Because it's just me, bitch.
'Cause
It's just me. I don't want to do more social media if I can help it. No. It's brought to you by me. It's just my podcast by me. So you just get me and you understand who I am as a person. Yeah, no. I had somebody helping me edit videos, not for this, but for other stuff, and unfortunately, I say unfortunately, they got sick. They're in the hospital, in and out of the hospital a lot. So it's like one of those things. It's like, I'm not gonna, like, you go take care of yourself. No. And they're like, I feel bad. I'm like, don't feel bad. Take care of yourself. I'm just a little guy. Like, my money is not, well, I mean, like, they don't live in America, so they're in Australia, so they have healthcare. But I'm just like, my money is not helping you pay your bills, probably. So, like,
Like, it's okay. It's okay to fucking take a break, man. It's okay.
also
You can
that.
do
It's
that.
also that.
That, like, as a person who is getting better at that advice, it's okay to pause and be like, I'm gonna do less this week. I'm gonna do less. I'm tired. I need to reset. It also like helps creatively. Like if you just crunch all the time, you're just operating at like a deficit and it's not gonna lead to you making cool shit.
Eventually, you'll cut enough corners that you'll be upset at your own output. It's not
Yeah.
great.
It's like I wanna make shit that I'm proud of, and that comes from giving myself time to make shit that I'm proud of. And that means having a break and pausing and resetting. I'm going on vacation later this year for the first time in 5 years. Now,
I
granted, am I finding a way to make a little bit of work on the vacation so I can justify writing it off as a tax expense? Yes, yes, but there's a really expensive plane ticket, man. That's really
Oh, are you
expensive.
going to Australia?
Yes, actually.
You said expensive plane ticket. I said, oh, you're going to Australia. Okay. As somebody who just went to Australia last year as my vacation, yeah. No, I get that. Mind you,
I'm
my
gonna
plane
film like
ticket.
one little thing I'll film on socials because I'm a content creator, and then it's a
Yeah.
tax write-off.
I. What
Send it to
was
the
it?
write-off people.
Exactly. Send it to your tax people. No, I thankfully, whenever I went to Australia last year, was 2024. This is just in case somebody's listening to this in the future. Um, I have family there, and they're like, "Hey, we're not coming back to America anytime soon." They're retirees, and
Yeah.
they have money, sort of. They're like, "Hey, do you want to come to us, and you can stay with us, and we'll pay for your airplane ticket?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah."
Yeah.
Did it suck that the timing was right after TwitchCon and I could have built on being in the drag showcase like right after? Yes. Did I need it because I hadn't taken a proper vacation in 7 years because of grad school and the pandemic? Also, yes. So,
The last vacation I took, I don't think even counts because it was March of 2020.
ooh,
I oh, the timing of this gets even funnier. I had just finished a contract working off Broadway, so I was the master electrician for a off Broadway show.
oh God.
Finished the contract, went home, took my partner at the time on a cruise with my family. Um, where not once in that until I like asked for it did I get thanked for fully paying for it or booking it. There was a bunch of gaslighting and just uncomfortable shitty behavior that happened, and then like in my head I broke up with them on that vacation, and I didn't properly do so until like May of that year, so a couple of months later, because I was like, it's the pandemic and I can't break up with you via text message. I need to do it in person. So I just got but like again, that vacation was a lot of me like juggling my partner who was not getting along well with anyone in my family and my family, so I didn't really get a vacation per se. So like while going to Australia later this year is I'm going to turn pieces of it into work. uh I won't be near my desk for a
It's not
hot
your work is not
yeah.
your priority while there.
No. No, I'm going to visit some friends who I don't get to see in person very often. I get to go to a country that I've always wanted to go to.
It's a
And
lovely
it's
place.
it's also wild that like the it was like a weird reward that like paying for the ticket wasn't out of the realm of possibility. It was something that I could actually afford to do, and that's because of people who like have been supporting me over the last few
Hell
years.
yeah.
And it was very wild to come full circle and be like, "Hey, the reason this business got started was because I got effectively a stimulus check and my parents were letting me live at home rent free, and I bought my first bottle of resin with stimmy money, and now it is something with which we're like There's been times where I've chipped in and like covered my parents' mortgage because I had the funds to do it, or I can take myself on a vacation. I haven't had to like I've been pretty independent. And granted, part of that's because they let me live at their house rent free still, and I've taken over their backyard and built a workshop in it. Um, but like I have a level of freedom that I didn't have before. So even though I'm working probably as many hours as I did when I worked in theater, I have more control. I can say no. I can choose to take time off. I choose when the conventions are booked. So it's like, I just get to be a little guy.
I
Professional
love
silly
that.
guy. Yeah.
Professional silly guy.
Yeah.
So this is the part of the podcast where I say plug your shit. Plug your shit, Whitney.
Yeah, I'll plug my shit. Hey, I've been smoking glue guns. Do you like rocks? Do you have a crippling addiction to shiny rocks that break your brain go brrr? You can buy Jesus Christ, Shelly. You can buy my rocks at smokingglueguns.com or at whatever convention you find me at. It in October. When specifically does this episode go up?
Wait, one. Hold on.
Yeah, when? When?
October 13th.
Hey, fun facts. This weekend I'll be at Multiverse Atlanta, and then next weekend, no one knows this yet because I haven't told it out loud publicly, I'll be at New York City Comic Con. So you'll be able to find me at New York City Comic Con.
Let's go!
Next week for the first time. I will be guesting at another vendor's booth, but I'll have a little sampling of like my stuff and my wares there. We're working. I literally, as soon as we finish this recording, I'm calling him to work out the details because I just found out over the weekend that this is happening. So yeah, you can come and buy my stuff in person at either of those two places, or you can buy them at smokingglueguns.com. If you don't have money for rocks and you just want to support the things that I do, you can watch my TikTok videos. I am just at smokingglueguns there. You can also follow me on Instagram at smokingglueguns there, or watch The Veil of Atheum, which is bi-weekly on twitch.tv/winter or on Smoking Glue Guns. We're doing a special Halloween episode this month that we just talked about with the cast. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like yet at time of recording, but I know we're doing it because I told them we're doing it. Or you can watch Wild Magic West on twitch.tv/Winter's Tales. That's all of the things that I do. I also show up in other places sometimes, but all that's on my socials. I say yes too often. I don't know how to stop saying yes. I'm like Jim Carrey in that movie.
Oh yeah, the Yes Man?
Yes Man.
Is that,
I just say yes.
Is that the name of?
Yes.
I don't know.
I am yes woman. I'm like, oh, do this thing. Okay, I'll figure it out.
I love that.
Figure it out. It's fine. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, with all that being said, you can find all those links down below in the show notes. Speaking of where to find people on the internet, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Shelly Von Miller, to include Patreon and Fourth Wall memberships, where you can get early access to the podcast and other videos. You can get behind the scenes of, me doing drag and burlesque stuff and whatever. And you can get the lovely patron exclusive segment called Table Sets, which we're about to record right after this. You could go do that. Paid tiers start at $7 a month. And if you want it all, baby, you can have it all at $25 a month. With that being said, I love you guys very much, and I will see you on the internet. Goodbye.